everybody, welcome back to the Finish Podcast, hosted by Sean Lazarus. We got an awesome guest via Skype today, Jose Shorty Torres, coming up. Got a big fight coming up, UFC 227. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, actually. You call me right before I go for my morning, afternoon workouts. Just getting my weight down, getting ready for the fight. I'm technically 8 days out now.
Yeah.
And, man, I couldn't be more excited. It's a great opportunity for me.
Yeah, wow, what a big fight, man. I mean, especially, I don't even know where to start with you, man, because, like, you had the UFC call-up, you got the contract, you had that crazy, TKO finish with Brooks, and, I mean, it just seems like, I know that was June 1st with that fight, but I can imagine that the last few months for you have probably been kind of a, just going by just like that. It's just been a whirlwind. So, I mean, first elaborate on, how the whole UFC contract thing came about.
Man, it's crazy that you're bringing that up because it was, I was in like an MMA limbo. My last fight was in February.
Yep.
And then I didn't fight again until June, trying to figure out, am I still fighting for Titan? Am I going to fight for Bellator? Am I fighting for the UFC? Like, where am I going?
Right.
And then I got this last-minute call-up, and the funny thing was, for people who don't know, I initially said no. I was just like, 9 days, 26 pounds, I'm not doing it. This is foolish. Like, you guys keep giving me last-minute calls, and I'm tired of it, given I really don't have a choice.
Right.
But it's just not fair, mainly for a guy coming in with my resume.
Yeah.
But I talk to my team, and they go, dude, you can make the weight. Like, you might not be in the shape you want to be, but you're still in shape. You might not be the size you want to be, but you're still, lower than usual. So we ended up cutting 26 pounds in 9 days. I got it down because of nutrition. He's the one that really convinced me to take the fight. And I made the weight healthy, and I fought Jared Brooks. And the thing was, with Jared Brooks, I knew I could beat him. I wasn't worried about the fight, but the problem was I wasn't training. When I got the call, I wasn't sparring against anybody. I was helping 4 women get ready for a fight, and then I was also possibly getting ready for the 145-pound title fight for Titan FC. So the speed, the technique, everything is so different. So when I finally got down to Jared Brooks, he was so much faster than I expected. He was so much quicker. He was so much more elusive, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm back down at the flyweight division again. Like this is a whole different game. So I just wasn't ready for it, and mentally, 9 days, 26 pounds, all the medical tests, EKG, MRI, blood work, physical, the eye exam. There were so much paperwork to do, and then flying from Florida to Utica, and just it was hectic, but I got it done. Compared to you got some of these guys, Darren Tills, Mackenzie Dern's, even the veterans, Yoel Romero's missing weight with 3 months in advance notice to do all this paperwork and do all the behind the scenes stuff, and it all came coincidentally, like just all worked out well. Honestly, I was surprised I was even able to fight. I was even surprised my name was on my shorts because that's how last minute it was. Even the UFC wasn't ready for me. Wow. So we got it done, and it's not the win I'd like, but hey, a win's a win. I'll take it, and I'm on to the next best thing.
It's funny you say that, God. It's gonna wreck my brain, man. There was somebody else had taken like a last minute fight, and for the media day where they have like the cardboard cutout with their name on it and stuff like that, and they have like the media row and all that stuff.
Wrote their name on it.
yeah. And so like God, it's gonna kill me. But anyway, someone had taken the fight, and they didn't even have the cutout or nothing for him. You know who it was? It was for 223. It was Al Quinta. It was a last minute fight, and they didn't have his cardboard cutout. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Al.
I think it was Al. I'm pretty, because I was thinking Al Quinta. But either or, that's the crazy thing is that they're ready for you, but they also have to have special things made that it stays. And dude, like, it caught me off guard. I took the fight, got out there, and they weren't even ready for me. They're like, and I was so focused on making the weight and so aggravated about making the weight that, my weight management specialist thought that I was going to be excited fight week. They're like, oh, I'm in the UFC. I'm take photos of all these photographers. I'm going to do this, do that. And I was just like, I just want to get this over and done with. Like, I don't care. They're giving me the Reebok gear, and everyone's usually excited. And I'm just like, cool, put it on my bed. I want to take a nap. So I'm just, after everything was said and done, I got to relax a little bit, but I was like, man, again, it's not the finish I wanted. I took my 2 weeks off because I was suspended for 2 weeks. That's just kind of a natural thing after a fight. Yeah. And I was like, all right, let me get back to it. And I was helping Kyoji Horiguchi, who fights this Saturday. I was helping, a lot of the fighters get ready for their fights, and I wasn't 100% in shape, but I was in shape. Again, Kyoji Horiguchi is easily the fastest flyweight I've ever gone with. And I was just like, this is awesome. I'm getting some great sparring, and I went, from 2 weeks break to 100% back in. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm training, whatever. Maybe I'll get a fight in September. And then I found out that I wasn't going to fight until October, November because just the flyweight division's backed up. So I was like, okay. Took 2 days off to just relax. I already bought my plane ticket back home to go see my family, and out of nowhere, the next day, my manager calls me. He's like, stop what you're eating. You're fighting, August 4th. Can you take it? And I was like, hold on, wait. I have 23 days to lose around 26 pounds compared to 9 days? No, yeah, I could do it. Yeah, I could do it. So I was like, sure, man, it's a great fight. Alex Perez is a phenomenal fighter, and it is going to be one of those Mexican boxing style fights of who's going to move back first. I remember the big feud. I think it's Marcos Antonio Barrera versus, I can't remember the other fighter's name, but they won a rubber match, and those two are just phenomenal Mexican boxers that just never move back. So, and that's the fight I expect.
So, do you think there's any similarities between between Perez and Brooks as far as they both seem to kind of have like a wrestling base to their style, right? A lot of especially the way their victories are very similar. They both have majority decision based victories, versus you're the complete opposite, right? Most of your stuff is finishes. So do you find any similarities between them? What can you take from the fight with Brooks and kind of take that over into this fight?
The big similarities, they're very similar when it comes to the wrestling. They're both wrestling based. I think, Brooks, that's his heavy base, but Alex Perez, he's more well-rounded. We've seen him drop people in the Contender Series. We've seen him throw hands. We've seen him take people down and immediately go for a choke compared to, Jared Brooks. When he dropped me, he wasn't trying to finish me. He was just like, cool, I got an opportunity. I'm just going to chill right here. I'm going to finish this fight as a decision. I won round one. Cool, but Perez is going for the finish. If not, he knows how to win in that decision where he's able to hold someone down, just chill, relax, and just do just enough to win. But Perez is going for the finish. I mean, we saw him when he fought the Filipino guy. How many darts chokes did he go for? How many front headlock chokes did he go for? He was just going back and forth, and he was doing work. And that's the thing I like about Perez is that he's a game opponent. It just so happens he has a lot of decisions. But he does have 4 losses under his belt against some really high-caliber guys, and that's the thing is, what is he going to do against me? Is he going to be, am I another high-caliber guy that he might lose against, or give him that hard of a time? And that's something I'm excited to see is, it's a fair matchup. Jared Brooks was getting ready for a fight. He had 3 months' notice, and then so happened Hector Sandoval bumped out, I bumped in, and he had to, change his game plan a little bit. But for Alex Perez and I, we were both fill-ins. We were just completely added to the card. So there isn't a full training camp for both of us. We're both doing a last-minute weight cut. So it is a very fair fight for both to say, it doesn't matter what the camp was for both of us. We were kind of decently training, and we're, back in it 100% again and see where it goes from there. And, for him, he's well-rounded, so I want to see his boxing game. That's my biggest strength is the stand-up. Yeah, I can wrestle, I can do jiu-jitsu, I can do all that stuff, but I like to put on a show for the fans, for at least the average MMA fans that don't know much, that just want to see blood, sweat, tears, all that stuff. I want to put on an awesome performance, and I think Alex Perez and I can honestly be a huge, huge show for UFC 227. I mean, that card is stacked. That card is extremely stacked. So to be performance of the night or knockout or whatever night, it is going to be the bar set real high, and I think him and I can do that.
Speaking of being a stacked card, is it any kind of added pressure for you? Because you guys are headlining the Fight Pass portion of the show as of right now. Is that any added pressure for you, or any extra weight on your shoulders because of that, or is this kind of business as usual? This just happens to be where I fall on the card.
Business as usual. At first, I was the very first one on the card. I was like, oh, cool, I'm first again, yay. And for people who don't know, like, everything's on a time schedule with the UFC. If they tell you you're fighting at 7, you're fighting at 7, no matter what. And I got lucky with the last fight where Jessica Aguilar's fight got bumped out. Unfortunate for her, but it was lucky for me because I had a good extra 30 minutes to really warm up because they only put me in there for half an hour. I was like, oh, I gotta wrap my hands. Oh, I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta go. And then the fight got canceled for her. So I was like, okay, cool. I get to relax a little bit. I got 30 minutes to mentally prepare and warm up and do all that stuff. This one, I've been a main event, 4 or 5 times in a row for Titan FC. So I've been used to literally cheering on all my teammates, watching all the fights, and just kind of getting amped up watching the fights, and then eventually going, okay, I want to fight now. It's my turn to fight. Can I go? So this one being kind of in the middle-ish, yep. It gives me, some time to, 1, probably get motivated, mentally prepare myself, and 2, or 3, just really warm up and be ready for the fight. So it really isn't any added pressure. I wish I was on Fox. I'm still technically a UFC Fight Pass guy. So be it. Again, I'm a last-minute entrance to the card, but it's a great opportunity for me to know that I'm slowly moving up in the rankings, and moving up in the cards for the UFC.
Do you have a preference? I've asked this question a few times to a few different guys. Do you have a preference to when you are on the card? Like you said, you were headlining Titan FC versus this. You're the fourth fight up. So, from a, I don't know, maybe like a nerve standpoint or something, because you're in the main event, you're kind of maybe you have more time to kind of reanalyze things and rehash things in your brain and play things out. Is it, go ahead.
I like to be in the middle. And the reason why I say it is because I've been on both spectrums. I played baseball when I was a kid, and I was always the smallest kid, the fastest kid, so I was always #1 batter. I was always first, and it was one of those things that when I was first, even with this last fight with Jared Brooks, you don't get to see the picture, you don't get to see this, you don't get to see that, you don't really get to prepare. You're just kind of winging it and going, all right, I guess I'm the one starting this off. All right, let's see how this goes, which is fine. Is usually my style, but when it comes to fighting, you want to be properly mentally motivated for it. So going, hey, they're doing it too, and they're perfectly fine. Like, they're going out there, they're having fun. Win or lose, they're coming back. They're like, whew, all right, on to the next one. It makes you just, okay, cool. Like, hey, he can do it, I can do it too. All right, I'm ready to go out there. I'm ready, and it gets you amped up. But being main event, there's a lot of pressure there. The lights, the Bruce Buffer, all that stuff, which I'm really excited about because this is a pay-per-view. Bruce Buffer's going to be there. Joe Rogan's like, yay. But being main event, man, there's a lot of pressure, and it takes so long. You're like, yeah, I'm riled up for the event. And after so long, you're just like, oh, I want to fight. I'm bored. So, mainly if these events go 1 a.m. at night, it does take a while. So being right in the middle is a nice thing to where you can watch some of the fights, get riled up, and then enjoy the rest of the show.
So, do you have any pre-fight, any weird pre-fight rituals?
Honestly, it's crazy. Is that the tougher the fight it gets, the less I do. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I've been the person that never really warmed up, even when it came to wrestling tournaments. Like, go to wrestling tournaments, all my team is warming up, all my team is doing this, and I'm just kind of like, have fun, guys. Like, it's just my first round, for some reason, for me, has always been my warm-up. I've always taken it that way, and people have seen my fights. I start off very slow. I need to get punched in the face a lot for my adrenaline to get really riled up and to start going. But I don't know. I like to relax. I pump with my coach, Master Bob Shermer, which I've known since I was 16, and it's more of a pride thing, trying to get double underhooks in the guy, because that guy is 62 years old now, and he still out-wrestles me, which is, I hate him. But it's really cool to know that I have my team. They know what I like to do, and I really don't do anything ritual-wise. I just like to chill and relax, and more try my best to calm myself down before I get all antsy and just, oh my god, I gotta fight. Oh my god, he's gonna try to kill me. All that stuff. Just go out there and do my thing.
Yeah. So, definitely lastly, but certainly not least, what are your goals moving forward? Let's say you get through this fight with Perez and, everything works out, game plan. What are your goals, your 1 year, your 2 year plan within the UFC? Where do you see yourself? Do you stay in the same division? Do you move up? Do you, how long do you think it takes you to get in the title contention? Just things like that. What's a good layout game plan for you?
It's something I do think about. I have 4 fights in my contract. This would be my second one. Yep. Usually after the 2 fights, if you do very well, you can renegotiate. And I'm going to use these 2 last-minute fights as a big renegotiating factor. Go, hey man, I hope you guys twice. Like, come on, give me some leeway here. Yeah. Mainly because I came in with a contract that I didn't want. I came up with a contract that was last minute and just the basic of basic because it was last minute and I was in MMA limbo. I didn't know what was happening, so I took the opportunity. But you know, if you know everything works out August 4th, I beat two guys that technically aren't ranked, but two prospects that you guys are obviously building up, mainly Alex Perez, who was on the Contender Series. I know the Contender Series, those commercials, he's like the poster boy, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a huge thing. I'm ready for top 10 guys, and I believe I can be fast tracked in this 4-fight contract. But you know, for me, it's more just I don't care who I fight as long as they're ranked above me. I want to move up the rankings properly. You know, if I get to skip a few, that's awesome. But I believe in the ranking system. If I have to fight the next guy, you know, one number up, then so be it. You know, I believe that's appropriate. But you know, my 2-year plan, I really don't expect it to be that long to where I get a title shot very soon. As long as everything works out well, where I fight the next guy who's maybe, you know, top 10, beat him, maybe I get a #1 contender spot in my 4th fight.
Yeah.
You know, the flyweight division needs excitement, and I believe I'm in a sense the Cody Garbrandt of the flyweight division. When he came in, you know, he didn't fight any great guys, but he was the knockout artist like I was, and you know, just they're like, all right, cool, like you're moving straight up, and I want to be just like that, where you know they use my name, they use my resume, they use my knockout experience, my finishes, and go, no, this kid is gonna bring in money, he's gonna bring in views, he's gonna bring in this, that. Let's put him up there and see what he does.
Hey man, I agree 1000% with you. You put up a hard argument, and your future looks bright, man. And I think you're really exciting to watch, and I think that your popularity reflects that. You know, a lot of people buzzing about you, man. Every time, you know, even when you were on Utica and this one, I think people are buzzing about you. And just because you're on Fight Pass, man, don't let that mess with anything, because like it's a big fight. I mean, I was looking forward to this fight even before I knew I was talking to you. You know, like it's a huge fight for me, and so I can't wait to see it myself. But anyways, man, I really appreciate the time, man. Good luck to you this Saturday, man, against Alex Perez, UFC 227.
Well, I appreciate it, and you know, if anybody wants to follow me, please Instagram Jose Shorty Torres, Facebook Jose Shorty Torres with quotations around the name Shorty, and Twitter Shorty Torres 125. And also for people who don't know, I do have my own website, teamshorty.com. 20% off of everything right now if you use promo code UFC at the checkout. Overall, for people who don't know, that is 20% out of all the earnings out of my website, teamshorty.com. Go to the kids in my gym so they can travel, train, compete, just really get an opportunity to stay off the streets like I was. And you know, I do a lot of things for money back in the day just to stay in the gym, and I don't want them to have to do that stuff. So 20% off UFC, teamshorty.com. 20% of those earnings go to the kids in my gym. So please support. Everything ships worldwide, and I really appreciate the support, guys. We can, we will. Together we are Team Shorty. Thank you.
I want to take up too much of your time. I appreciate it. Have a good one, buddy.
All right, man. Well,
all right, bud.
Do your thing and take care of yourself.
You as well, man. Have a good one. Hey, guys, if you enjoyed the show, please don't forget to check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Send me a message. I'm going to scroll up here like long walks on the beach. I don't know. You never know. And please, for you audiophiles out there, we're on iTunes. We're on Google Play. Don't forget to like, share, follow, and subscribe to us. Helps us out a ton.